Hello there, everyone. Sorry, I'm a few minutes behind schedule. Like I said, I am still solo parenting for, maybe up to 24 more hours. It depends on people's flights and how tired they are when they get home. My husband and my oldest son are out in Las Vegas for the Packers-Raiders game tonight. So yay, go Pack, go. Well, that's what I'm going to say because I live in Wisconsin and I'm a huge Packer fan. Alrighty, let's get started. Tonight, there's not going to be a whole lot of showing you different ones or stepping it up a lot because there's kind of a lot going on with this one. One of my fellow demonstrators, Amy Rich, did an adorable card that had these specs to it, and I absolutely wanted to copy it because it was so cute. I didn't have the stamp sets or the DSP she used, but I'm copying her layout. It's super simple and super adorable, but it has a little more layers than you might be used to cutting for me. So, all right, you needed a neutral piece for your card base. That's 5.5 by 8.5, and we scored at 4 1/4. And then you needed either a rectangle or some sort of tag shape that is 1.5 by 2. And then you're going to need a phrase stamped images or whatever you're going to want to fill that up. All of mine really just have a phrase on them. It's the only stamping I did. I let the DSP shine through and do all the rest of the work. So just so you know, that's a little bit of a heads up of what I got going on. Then you needed 3 coordinating pieces of designer series paper that are each 1.5 by 1.5. Mine come from the Bright and Beautiful collection, which is a 6x6 DSP with all sorts of, you might guess, bright colors, really pretty and fun patterns for birthdays, especially. It's kind of designed for that. Super cute. Then you're going to want a piece of coordinating cardstock that's going to coordinate with all 3 of your DSPs. You're going to want, it should be 3 pieces, not 2, because we have 3 squares. 3 of those that are 1 5/8 by 1 5/8, and then another piece that is 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to be using Bubble Bath for that coordinating color. And then lastly, a piece of cardstock that is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. I'm going to be using Berry Burst. And my suggestion was if you had the ability to emboss it, like running it through with an embossing folder, that would give it a little bit of texture and fun. And if you don't have that capability, I'm going to show you an alternative way to give it just a little bit of texture. Alrighty, so let's go ahead. As you might guess, these are going to mount on top of each other. So go ahead and grab your adhesive and put those squares together. And then you can just kind of set them off to the side because we won't need them for a little bit. So this fun striped one has a whole bunch of colors. It coordinates with a ton of colors. So really fun way to play with that one. And then this piece just has a little bit of that darker color going on, but it's going to pop off with that bubble bath behind it. Okay, so I know those are off camera, but we don't need those right now. So just go ahead and set those aside. Let's prep your card base by going ahead and giving that score line a nice burnish. And again, you can set that off to the side because we won't need it for a little bit. All right, my tag piece. For this one here, I am just using the rectangle just to show you how that looks. Most of my, the rest of my samples, I believe I'll have some sort of tag shaped that I have done from a die. All right, I'm going to put my phrase kind of near the bottom. Oh, because also you're supposed to have a thin ribbon or twine or something to that effect. We're going to put a little bow or a knot kind of up at the top of this. So you can aim for the middle to the lower section for that tag piece. And I think I'm probably going to end up using the white twine on that. All right, so grab that layer that's the other cardstock. That's the 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And like I said, if you didn't have the ability or capabilities to send that through a machine with an embossing folder, here's a suggestion for you. Just do this. Just crumple it up. I know you might be going, oh my gosh, what are you doing? How dare you destroy the paper? But once you put that back out again, you're going to see that now you have some intricate pattern and texture in there. Okay? So if you wanted a little bit more in certain areas, just crumple a little smaller. Also, if you are familiar with the faux suede technique, I believe I have a video on that on my YouTube channel, and I will post a link to that later. in case you haven't seen that before. That would be another way of using your cardstock to give it some texture. What you end up doing is you actually pull the fibers apart in your cardstock and separate them, and what it does is it leaves behind a very soft, smooth, or not smooth, but like fuzzy surface, like suede would be. So you're going to have that feeling of texture when it's going to be a little crumply, and then you're going to have that extra layer of soft feeling texture to it. Okay, so like I said, that's a way to do that. If you don't have an embossing folder handy, just go ahead and use your hands and crumple that up. All right, we are going to go ahead. I'm going to tape everything down flat so you can see how that goes. As always, I'll tell you suggestions as I go here on how to raise that up if you like to have, you're using your dimensionals. So go ahead, get your adhesive on there, and you're going to center this. It's going to have a little wider border than usual because it's just about a 3 3/4 by 5 type size there. So you have an extra wide border, which is that white will really pop off of that. Okay, then you're going to lay your squares out. I'm going to lay mine down so you can see where I'm going with this, and then you decide how you want your squares to lay out. So you're going to put one kind of up here in the corner. You're going to lay another one at the bottom of that, just overlapping a little bit. And then this one is going to take up a space right about there. And then your tag is going to end up filling in the gap. Okay, so take a look at the patterns that you have. Maybe they're directional, maybe they're not. Maybe certain colors blend better together or go next to each other better. So look through the 3 that you have and decide what way you want to do that. I'm actually going to make my stripes go the same direction, I think. All right, so I'm still going to start with that guy up at the top. And like I said, just kind of up near the corner. Now, if you want to start raising these up on dimensionals, I would put one dimensional on the left side of this and then put it down right about there. And that'll layer that layer up a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and use my regular adhesive again. And you want to overlap just a little bit of that corner. Now grab that third piece, and again, if you want to use a dimensional, I would put it in the bottom right corner, and that's going to layer up over this one that you had there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive there. Now I like to do this so it's a little off of like these edges will not exactly match up, and down in this corner. Okay, so something to that effect. I am going to pop up my tag, and what's neat is there's this little empty space here where you can just grab your dimensional, plop it down on that base of cardstock there, and go ahead and peel that off. And then this is ready for you to just stick down. You can have it hanging over a little bit. So you see like I'm kind of mimicking that edge right there. And voila, there you go. Alrighty, let me take a look here. Yeah, I have white, which is probably not gonna, you know what? Let's just bring in the black twine and see what we think. Yep, I think that's going to set that off nicely. White on white is not going to show up very well. All right, I'm going to show you how I do kind of a double bow here. So I'm going to cut off a length. Oh, let's see. That's going to be my finished length. So how I looped it over there, and then I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, so now I have 2 strings. And whoops, of course, that is black paper, so you're not going to be able to see that. Let's try that again. Okay, so I'm going to freehand a bow from there. And now I'm going to have 2 loops and 2 tails going together instead of just the one. Sometimes I like to double up the twine because the twine is a little thinner, and that way it will kind of have a bigger impact on your project. Oop, I didn't make that loop big enough so I can't see through it. Let me try that again. Because of course, once I'm ready to do it on camera, I'm all jittery fingers. Here I'm like, look how simple this is, right? All right, talk amongst yourselves while Tracy figures out her bow. Okay, come on. I have you. I have you. There we go. There you are. Where'd you go? Oh, darn it. Okay, seriously, you guys, I promise this is not as hard as I'm making this look. I just have no figure control tonight here, apparently. There we go. All right, I'm going to catch those ends before I lose them. Catch these ends. All right, we're going to go. There we go. Now I got it. Okay, there is my bow. Let's give that a little twist, bring that a little smaller. Okay, now I'm going to trim off those ends so they look about the same. Okay, voila, ta-da. I promise it was not as hard as I made that look. All right, go ahead and grab your glue dots. There we go. And we're going to attach that piece to the twine. And then I'm just going to stick that up at the top. Okay, so there is my finished card. And like I said, as I go through these, there's not a whole lot that's too different or stepped up about it, except maybe some extra accessories. Again, I used embossing folders and tag shapes. So I'm using my dies and my embossing folders. You could definitely add some gems, bling, whatever you might like to into these guys here. Okay, so let me bring in this one. This one is using the Autumn 6x6 designer series paper that's in the mini catalog, and the Fall Leaf embossing folder. That's an online exclusive, but it was actually, I believe, in last year's mini catalog at this time. So it is a carryover there, and this is just regular linen thread. What's neat about this autumn paper is that the other side of it has just a little tone of metallic, so either like a coppery or a silvery gold look through some of the patterns on those. So those are really, really neat. I believe that has just come back into stock again. Yay. So if you have not had a chance to grab that, let me know because you're going to want to get it right away. And remember, there is free shipping on all orders of $75 or more today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And if you know you're not going to quite get there, just let me know and we can try to combine orders. Maybe there's some people in your area that might want some as well. You got a couple of friends that want to order together. Just order it all in a group and then you'll get your free shipping on that. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now you wouldn't guess it by looking at this one, but this is actually the Cheerful Daisies designer series paper. The flip side of all those really pretty, bright and beautiful daisies are all of these watercolory washed color, just the whole sheet is like a gray or the blue, and it looks like a big watercolor wash. So super, super neat. I believe this is boho, mauve, and pebbled path. So I have gray granite and pebbled path here. I have pebbled path baker's twine. There's a whole pack that you get every of those in colors in. This is the nested, nested essentials, one of the dies from there. And oh, I forgot to mention earlier, the 2 stamp sets I used tonight were Something Fancy and Charming Sentiments. That'll all be in the information in the pictures as far as where to find that. They're both in the annual catalog. And this is the painted texture embossing folder on that one. Okay, here we go with a black and white one with just a little pop of color. That's Azure Afternoon. I used I keep saying this, one of my new favorite embossing folders, that crosshatch one that comes in the 3-pack online. Love it, love it, love it. The back side of all the Zany Zoos are black and white in some way. So that is the Zany Zoo design, the Zoo Crew. There we go. Zoo Crew designer series paper. It's the Zany Zoo collection, I believe. And then the black and white gingham finishes that off really nicely. This is deckled rectangles. So those die shapes make some good tag shapes as well. Here's another one with that nested essentials die. I used the twisted rope embossing folder on this one because I thought it nicely mimicked this particular piece of that designer series paper that's in the Go Fishing set. And then that's Night of Navy and Misty Moonlight. So that is a basic one there that makes a really great masculine card. Okay, so here's the one I did on camera, and all I did for a quote stepped up version is I completely flipped the color scheme. So what was neutral over here is a color and vice versa. So you'll see my tag and my base are this lemon lime twist color. I used white behind these except for this one because the white on white didn't show through quite as much as I wanted. So there is a little lemon line behind that one. But my white layer is here. And then I used polka dots. That is, again, in the 3-pack that you get in the online store. And this is actually Parakeet Party metallic ribbon, but that blends really nicely actually with the lemon lime twist. Those two their accessories go really nice together. So that's a good one to have on hand if you don't have all those accessories exactly. Sometimes they blend into these other ones really, really nicely. Okay, so let me go back through those really quick here. I can kind of see where my camera is. And I believe I have the orientation right this week. Yay. You shouldn't be having to turn your head to see my video tonight. I made sure to check that before I went live. All right, everybody. Remember, there's that free shipping offer today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Contact me or your demonstrator if I'm not the one to get those orders in and take advantage of that free shipping time. There's some great products, obviously, with the holiday catalog, and I really encourage you to check out those online exclusives. There's some new introductions in there, some great things for the holidays, really fun papers, different stamp sets. So there's tons of stuff to choose from in there. And if you don't already have that 3-pack of embossing folders, I highly recommend that one. That's a really great addition to your collection. And also, it's just a good time to stock up on staples. Get your seal refills, grab dimensionals, glue, that sort of thing, your basic white and vanilla paper and envelopes. It's a great time to stock up on some of that stuff when you can get shipping for free. All right, everybody, you take care. I'll be rooting on the Packers tonight. So I'm sorry if you're a Raiders fan, but I'm really hoping that we win. Thanks for joining me tonight, everybody, and I will see you guys next week. Take care.